Okay. Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about the deities that are in Forestera, in my world, Forestera. Um, we never used deities very much at all in our games back in the 80s and 90s. There really wasn't much reason to. I mean, when deities and demigods came out, then we started getting into it a little bit more. It was fun to read about all the different gods, and I used to have that book. I had the book with the Cthulhu and the Melnibonian or whatever they're called. I don't even know what the word is. And I sold it for like $50, which at the time was good, but little did I know. I should have realized and just held on to it. Besides, I wish I had it now just to keep it. I wouldn't even sell it if I had it today, unless I really needed the money. But that book, along with articles in Dragon magazine, got me more interested in getting into deities in the game more because it's kind of fun. And I decided with my campaign, because I really wanted to make this as thoroughly fleshed out as I could get it, to work out what deities are in Forestera. Why not just make a list? So I went online and started looking up the different deities of D&D lore, like Corellin Laerthian, Moradin, Ilana, those gods. And there's quite a few. And from reading about what they all represented, you get all the information that you need online. I put them all into this little book here, and I'm going to show it to you. I ended up picking 44 gods. Let me get this to come into focus. Come on, you silly thing. There we go. So that's all of them on one page. Let me see if we get the whole page. And of course, it goes out of focus again. Yeah, that's what you use. That's what happens when you use a phone. All right. Here are the 6 dwarven gods and the 6 half-elf deities that I picked from different groups. And I went with 6 so that one from each alignment. And Shyla, that you see here, is my own creation. And so she'll be in the story at some point. You'll see it if you're listening to my story. Then there's 6 gnome gods, 6 halflings, and these are all the non-evil deities. 44 non-evil deities in Forestera. I made a list of evil deities that are in Forestera, and it's probably not a complete list. I'll show that too at the end. Then I selected 8 elven deities, and 8 human deities. Again, everything's online. Suez is my own creation, so that's not, you won't find anything on Suez. At least I don't think so. And then finally, just 4 half-orc deities, because 4 was enough. I felt I needed more humans and elves than the others. And this way, every alignment is represented, and in the game, if you're playing a character, you can pick a deity. And if you're a cleric, you have to be the alignment of your deity. You don't have to be if you're just a character. I'll show you how I'm doing that, how I will do that if I ever play this campaign. So this is the first one. I've got all of them listed here on a sheet of paper. Just on one side, it's blank on the other side. And this is Clangeddin Silverbeard, the first one of the dwarven gods. And this is all the information over here that I keyed it so that if people are looking through this, they can see how it works out. So I basically list their titles, their alignment, their worshippers' alignment and types, their symbol and their holy symbol, which sometimes are different, their personality, their allies, enemies, and sacred animal. And again, I got most of the stuff online. I modified some of it and made up some of it for my own purposes. And then I came up with, and again, some of this is online too, requirements of followers, requirements of clerics, benefits of followers, benefits of clerics. Now, clerics have both requirements and both benefits. Any follower of a deity will have a set of requirements and benefits, but clerics get more. And then the last thing are abilities, which you might get, bonus proficiencies, bonus spells. Then there's the limitations, bard spells and other limitations, weaknesses or restrictions. So that's how each of these pages is broken down. And I'll just let you see this on your own if I can get it to focus right. You can kind of read it on your own. I'm not going to go through all 44 deities. Um, so there's the requirements of followers and clerics, and then the benefits and such. So that's Clangeddon. But let's just go with Clangeddon. His alignment is chaotic good. So if you're a cleric and you want him to be your deity, you have to be chaotic good. Any follower of Clangeddon can be chaotic good, or chaotic neutral. These are my rules. So you have to be close in alignment. I don't put a lot of emphasis on alignment in the game. It rarely mattered in our games, and I really think it's not as important as Gary made it out to be. I don't think it matters that much, and I don't think anyone ever lost a level for changing their alignment. Nobody changed their alignment. I don't see why it would ever happen really. Maybe it does in your games. It didn't in ours. So this is just my way of getting all the deities into one booklet in a nice way that I can show. So if for instance you wanted to be, well, this one let me just pick one here. You wanted to be a cleric and you wanted this god. You're a dwarven cleric. I would just take this sheet out, which is also why it's blank on the other side, and hand it to you and say, here, you can read this, and I take it back later. But this will give them, the cleric, all the information. Now, if you just want to be a follower of this deity, I might tell you a few things about him, and that's all. You would certainly know your requirements and your benefits, but you wouldn't know the cleric stuff. You wouldn't really know any of this stuff down here. But this is maybe this will give you some ideas on how you can use deities in your world. Deities shouldn't come up very often. They should be totally the exception and not the norm, I would think. It's just a way of, well, what do I really want to say here? It's a nice way of putting all of them in one little booklet so that you can look and say, well, if you want to be an elf and you're wondering what alignment you could be, I can say, okay, here are the elves, and so you can pick. So if you want to be neutral, you would be this one, and I'd let them look at a little bit of the page. You're picking your deity. What deity do you like? And then you could pick, this one's chaotic good, there's your chaotic neutral. So you've got all the different alignments. Every alignment is represented. So it's just a nice way of doing it. And I also color-coded based on the race just because it looks neat. And it helps them stand out. So those are the half-elf ones. Now, when I made this is a rough draft. So this needs work. I'm probably going to have to change some of these things. I probably have made it too powerful in some of the abilities that I gave. I was just brainstorming a lot of this. I didn't even finish this one. Allies and enemies. I didn't even fill it out. And that's interesting. I don't know why I didn't do that. But there you go. I mean, it was a lot of work, but it was fun. But in the back, I list all the evil deities that are in Forestera, and this isn't necessarily a complete list. I could certainly add to it. I can add to the deities in Forestera. I could make it more than 44, but that was a nice number, so I left it at that. And there's some, and there's the bottom half, so you can see all the different ones that are in there, and you get their name, their race, their title, and their alignment. So it's nice to put it all in a booklet like this. Maybe this will give you some ideas for your campaign. You can let me know if it does. Take care, guys.